What's up, hybrids? Welcome back to another episode of the Phantom Hybrid Podcast. This is Hannah Cohen. I am here with Anthony and Mike, and we are discussing I guess, is the series penultimate episode of the Wheel of Time. I was gonna say season, but anyway, um, this is Golden Eyes,
That's my
episode
dog.
7.
That's my dog.
I didn't. I have water to drink. I guess that's what we're gonna have to do because he's about to be insufferable with that for the rest of this episode.
Like I said, it's just like the TikTok says. Woo! Prepare to be sick of me. And I
Look,
tell you, I promise you, you're gonna be properly hydrated if you're drinking water every time I call Perrin my dog, because you're gonna get you get your proper hydration going.
I know because this episode was largely about him, but according
It's
to
all Two Rivers,
Anthony,
yeah.
look, according to Anthony, before we started recording, he was like, "This should be a short recording because only one thing happened, and it was fighting."
That
But
was it.
but there's so many layers to this fighting.
That's not all that happened in this episode. No,
It's
sir.
not. I mean, it's the main thing,
It's
but there's layers
it's
to
pretty
it.
much
We gotta
layers.
talk about Atlanta and the every. We gotta talk about my homeboy Loyal and his sacrifice. We gotta talk about friggin' the two channelers giving us the justice that we wanted since season one, episode 2. We got a lot to talk about in this
There was a
episode.
lot of good that happened in this episode, but when I say I forgot how much this episode made me cry the first time I watched it. I was watching
Yeah.
it this afternoon, and when you start kind of figuring out, because even the first time I watched it, I started figuring out certain things were going to happen or certain things that I thought were going to happen. Like, I really thought Alana was going to die. And I think Anthony and I both said
Yeah, I thought
we
that.
watched it
I
today
did
and we
too.
were like, she's going to die. Wait, we've seen this episode. Why did we? I don't know.
I
Thinking
don't
she
know
was
why
going
I
to
thought
die,
that.
the
I
whole
thought you
goodbye between Loyal and Perrin, because even though I didn't think Loyal was going to die, I thought that it was, there was enough of that goodbye for them to be separated. Like, I thought Loyal was going to be cut off from the rest of them going to the White Gate. I didn't think he was going to have to sacrifice himself. When I realized that's what was going to happen, when I say I started ugly, you would have thought my child was dying or something. I started ugly crying. I started shaking, like the sobbing kind of crying. And I was like, really, for this character? We got to get rid of
Yes,
him.
boy. That's my other dog, Loyal. Like, I mean, he proved he lived up to his name because he was. I mean, he didn't have to. He could have figured out another way or gone back out and figured something out. But he was like, "Nah, I got to make sure that none of these motherfuckers get out." So he
Yeah.
was.
I, I'm kind of glad that the show has been canceled because this episode reminded me of why I just cannot stand the writers sometimes for this show. Like they
Okay,
do
elaborate.
they do good in trying to give depth to characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of the, like I said, a lot of the characters, especially the villains, are one note.
Mm-hmm.
They just one thing, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
their thing. And they've tried to give us some layers to them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you kill Valda, who was supposed to have a pivotal role, and you kill Loyal, who also has a pivotal role. Like
Mm-hmm.
the Loyal thing, I might be able to get over because I understand how difficult the makeup was for him, and that's why they changed it, you know, for this season.
Okay.
But
To be fair, we never saw the body.
You know what? And Anthony and I think
we
we
talked about
had this
that.
discussion that we didn't see a body, but
To be
this was
fair,
before we found out that they were canceling. So I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe some of this was kind of like, okay, just in case they do cancel us, and if they had gotten renewed, maybe Child Valda is gone, but I think they would have probably maybe found a way they could have brought Loyal back. But I mean, it was such a great death that I don't think I would have wanted them to change that, especially the reaction of Perrin and Bane and Chiat at the end. when they kind of paid him tribute, I was like, that was so beautifully done. I wouldn't want them to like negate that. But
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Well, they thought Rand was dead. All the characters did. So,
Well,
they
yeah.
paid their respects and all that good stuff. So, and I don't know. It bothered me. It still kind of does. Knowing the role that the Ogier play
Mm-hmm.
in the rest of the series.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it was tough. And then all of the storylines related to Valda are just gone up in smoke. And I'm like, how are they going to get
It's
a
smoke.
lot of this stuff? A
I don't
lot of
know.
the,
Maybe they would
no
have.
pun intended.
Yeah.
They could have made Dane fit into that.
Nah,
Oh, okay.
nah, nah. What he's got going requires a specific type of
Ah,
that of tomfoolery that
okay.
only he's capable of.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know. I keep like wanting to hate Dane, but I'm like, he lost his father got killed in front of him. I can't really like get sick of him because I
I'm
mean,
sick of them. I'm sick
I
of
mean,
them.
I was just like, killed my father. I'm like, oh yes, we know. Like, goddamn.
I
And
was
it's like,
mad that Perrin didn't tell him to go kick rocks because he offered him the deal and he turned it down.
Right.
yeah,
So you can't come back later and be like, I want to do the deal. Nah, dude, that's not how that works.
Not even just that. You
mhm.
changed your mind, but in changing your mind, you brought the fucking Trollocs to their door.
Right.
So
You
that
blocking
should
the
have
people.
that should have negated that deal when he
So,
came at the end talking about we had a deal. Excuse me, you brought Trollocs to my door. I think that I think I sacrificed enough. I think we have sacrificed enough. Fuck
no, he
you
should have told him
and
to,
your revenge.
he should have told him to kick rocks because last thing you said was, I don't I don't wage my man on an empty promise. And
Yeah,
we'll come get you if you survive the trials. That don't sound like you taking the deal. Because if you took the deal, you would come right on along in. You can't come later and be like, oh yeah, after everything is done, I'll take the deal now. Nah, dude,
you
get the
could have
fuck out of
Bael and
here.
Nael standing in front of him, being like, "Nah, motherfucker, gone.
Yeah,
You gotta get the
because
bus."
even when they came in and Perrin was asking, like, so how did you guys get here? Oh, we came through the mountain pass. How? There were Trollocs. He was like, we didn't encounter no Trollocs. That should have told you right that nope, go.
You don't think that's weird?
Right, right. Like, do you not see us battle worn and weary and dirty like we have been fighting for our lives?
Mm-hmm.
We weren't fighting up against smoke. So
Right.
yeah, that whole thing was just weird. Like y'all should have known then. But you know what? When when he came to Perrin and said, I didn't know about Fane, and Perrin said, you should have. I thought back to our last episode where Anthony was talking about the children of the light and their appearance and why they should have been suspicious of
Mm-hmm.
Pat and Fane and the rest of his people. I was like, that's exactly what Anthony was talking about. Because Perrin was
Mm-hmm.
like, you should have known this wasn't one of your dudes.
You should have known.
Yep. They
So,
came in looking all dusty and stuff. Talking about, oh, we just
So,
killed some problems. Like, motherfucker,
but I mean,
you've been
he was clean shaven as far as that goes. His appearance was okay up until he got all the blood on his on well, not even his suit. They literally killed other children of the light and then took their clothes and brought at least that's what I'm assuming they did, because where would he
mm-hmm.
just all of a sudden get outfits,
that that
uniforms? So
that one shot that they had at the last episode when he came, okay, yeah, he clean shaven, but if you looked at all the other dudes around him, they were not.
yeah,
And I'm not talking about 2 day, 3 day scruff.
they
I'm
were, yeah,
about long hair, long beards,
yeah.
raggedy looking, messed up teeth. Come on, man. They are not children of the light.
Yeah,
And the other children of the light should have been looking like, oh, not about this, Mr. Barnhole. They don't look right.
right, right.
yeah. Valda's ass should have been like, no, no, motherfucker, hold
Especially
on.
Valda.
Yeah,
Especially Valda.
Yeah, because
no,
Valda looks like he looks like that type that would, toot his nose up at the way some of them look. Even, I mean, I feel like he's putting up with Dane because of who Dane is. But I think he even looks at him side-eyed like, you're unkept, your uniform is dirty. I mean, I have it in the background when he's over there talking to Perrin, and Perrin is trying to form this alliance. His his outfit is gray. That's how dirty it is.
Mhm.
And he's walking around with a perpetual bottle of alcohol. Like, who keeps filling this up for him? That's what I want to know.
Mhm.
Who has that job? Is it the guy that's holding his horse in the background? Are you the one that's keeping him sufficiently drunk? But I feel like Valda is just, okay, you know what? Your dad was the general, was the leader, whatever. We're just gonna let you be. You're still in mourning or whatever. But yeah.
I think he outranks. He still outranks Valda. That's why Valda is not really saying anything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
As far as like torturing and interrogating, that's Valda's specialty. Hunting Aes Sedai. So
okay. So I don't think we're going in any particular order. We're just gonna go where the conversation takes us, because since you mentioned that, you're in the middle of a war with Trollocs and Dark Friends. You're helping the Two Rivers people fight. But you see Alana Sedai over here on the ground dying because she has a spear in her chest, and you decide, oh, none of this stuff is important. I'm going to go over here and deal with this Aes Sedai. That's why your ass got barbecued, because you weren't minding the business that you should have been minding. You should have been over there fighting with your men, helping the people of the Two Rivers. But instead, you see this lone Aes Sedai by herself with Matt's sisters, of course, because they're trying to heal her, because we saw them heal her in the last episode. They have all this fighting going on. She gets struck with a spear. They're trying to help her, and they can't. They're too emotional. They're too frazzled. They can't do what they need to do. He comes over, sees Alana, and he's like, move out of the way, children. And they turn around, they look at him like, oh, you that motherfucker that burned our mom. Yeah, burn this. And they burn him to a crisp. And Alana is sitting there just cracking up laughing. Just crack. That had to hurt, because she has a spear going through the middle of her body. But she had to laugh, and I didn't blame her. I was like, this is what he deserves. But if you had just minded your business and just stay focused on the Trollocs, who were the real threats, then you would still be alive to be an asshole for another day.
Live the asshole another day.
But you know what? He got what he deserved, and I'm glad it was the girls that gave it to him, because it feels like justice. It felt right. Nobody else. Yeah, no. I'm glad it happened that way, because he needed to die.
But he's one of the few characters they didn't give any depth to. Like, he was one note the whole time.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. Bye, Valda.
So maybe he needed to die. Maybe they need to get rid of him, because they didn't really know what to do with his character.
Oh, well, he's dead. He would have been dead for another season, but
those thorny baby birds in hell. Keep on keeping them sick.
But you're right there. I'm like, dude, all this stuff going on, and
this is what you're worried about.
This is what you're worried about.
This is what you're worried about. It reminds me of
it actually goes along with his character, from the book, because I always say how he's a blade master. Well, there's some questions around how he became a blade master.
Because I was gonna say he wasn't blade mastering that much.
Maybe there were some, I don't know, payments involved to certain people. Maybe, just saying.
Because he wasn't fighting all that well in this episode. Like, you got a lick here, you got a lick there. But there was like a particular scene where he's walking, and it looks like it looks like he's favoring one of his arms. But he literally is doing this, and that's it. And I was like, and you're supposed to be the blade master? Like, if you had told me Fael was a blade master, I would have believed that. Because when I say she was on something this episode, I don't know what it was. She was like, I was hyped watching her.
I swear there was a scene where she was stabbing someone on the wall. She reached over, someone coming to the wall, she grabbed their spear, and stabbed the guy she was fighting. I'm
Uh-huh.
like, wait a second, what about this guy? You just took his weapon.
Like she was slinging and slicing and flipping and doing this. And, her conversation with Perrin, when Perrin was like, get behind me, she was like, stop trying to protect. He was like, kill the ones
The
I
ones I
missed.
miss,
She
I'm
was
like,
like, oh,
yeah.
okay. And it's like from then on, I was looking at her, I was like, this little girl is getting it because Perrin is way up here, she about this tall, but she literally is getting in all the spots that he can't get. Like he's hitting all the high notes, she's hitting all the low notes. Every time she moved,
Harmony.
I was hyped. I was sitting on my couch bouncing up and down, like, yes, girl, yes. She was one of the best parts of this episode because you saw she had skill. You saw she was definitely a warrior. She was getting it. And I was just like, okay, I like this. Perrin was Perrin was whooping some ass in this episode.
My dog was swinging that axe, man.
I ain't got no
That
more water.
axe,
I drank my water.
hammer, like all that. Like he was. This is probably my favorite episode, not just because Perrin is like the main character, but to see like him go from like killing his wife and mourning his wife in the first season and not really getting over it until like 2 episodes ago, technically, really, when
No,
he
that
could
last episode, really.
that was the
Yeah.
last episode, yeah, where he told Fael what happened. Like he finally got over it. And this is like the culmination of all that for him. It's like he's actually the leader that True Rivers needs, that True Rivers really needed. And to see him like take control and let and him and Fael, like Fael just letting him know, like 'cause Fael is like the warrior that looks forward to death as opposed to someone who's fighting not to die. Like she's fighting for what's right, and she's like, if I died, then good. I died for something that was right. I died for something that I believe in. I died for people who would do the same for me. And it's like I really like her character was just, her and Perrin were the perfect combination. I mean, just like them fighting back to back and all the stuff in between. Like when he was ready to give up, he's like, we're lost, and she was like, keep fucking fighting.
She was
Like
like, don't
she
make me
said,
put my foot in your ass.
yeah. He was like, you ain't giving up. If I ain't giving up, you ain't giving up. So let's keep going.
Right. And
Did,
then
did Perrin grow like 5 or 6 inches? Because he was about as big as those Trollocs.
He was
I mean,
listen,
in the book, he's supposed to be a physically imposing person.
that's physically
you
imposing.
felt it in this episode, especially once he put that armor on when he walked to the what is it they call it, when he walked to the pass.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at him, I was like, okay, like did the armor add some girth to him? Because he almost looked the same size as Loyal.
Yeah, yeah, about the same size as a Trolloc. Because he
Yeah,
walked between those two Trollocs. So I'm like, wait a second, bro, you about the same height as those Trollocs.
but that's
Smash you
okay
with a
because I
hammer.
was here for it. I was like, okay, that means that he has an advantage that some of the other people don't. But let me tell you, these
Yeah,
people in the Two Rivers, the women's circle, the archers. I mean, when Maxim was training them, he was trying to train them with
I love
spears, and that one little mouthy dude, he was like, "Yeah, whatever, give me a longbow and I'll handle it." And Maxim is looking at them like,
can
"Whatever,
you even pull
longbow."
a
And when he saw them with the longbows, he was like, "Okay, Two Rivers longbows." Like he gained some respect for them because they were like, "Don't give us weapons we're unfamiliar with. Now give us something that we know. Give us something that we can play with and we can do some damage." And they were doing some. Let me tell you, them people of the Two Rivers, they learned from that last time. They were like, "Oh, okay, you think you're gonna come in our house and do all this stuff again? No, we're not gonna have that." Mm-mm.
That's that blood of Manetheren right there. That
It is.
it
It
runs
is.
deep.
It is. And they were protecting each other, but then also I have to say this. I was not pleased when the Tuathawan showed up because I was like, y'all are just gonna be a burden because y'all aren't gonna fight. Y'all
right.
are just gonna be extra people that they have to protect. And I was just I was not feeling it. So when Perrin asked them to take care of the kids, to escape with the kids. I was like, oh yeah, that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect for them. But let me tell you, Aram, soon as he came up and the way he was looking, I was like, yeah, this boy ain't long for that
The
way of the
Tuatha
leaf.
life, the way of the leaf
He is
life.
not. I really feel like if they had gone to another season, he and Perrin probably would have switched, because you can see, one, Perrin's reluctance to fight. Like, he's fighting because he knows he needs to protect the people, especially because he feels like some of that trouble is because of him, with the White Cloaks coming and all this other stuff. But you can see, especially once the Tuatha get there, him and Isla start having their conversations, you can see he's like, okay, if I had my choice, this is the path I would follow, but I have other people depending on me right now, so I have to do this. Because he's not going to be like, okay, you know what? Way of the leaf, y'all slap my face, I'm going to turn the other cheek. No, he can't do that. You got all these other people who have given up a lot to shelter you, to protect you. No, you got to fight for them. But
Yeah.
Aaron looked like he wanted to fight. And every time his grandmother spoke, especially after we learned that his grandfather was killed by the Trollocs just the night before, I was like, yeah, he ain't gonna be part of the Way of the Leaf for too long.
I wouldn't say Perrin was going to switch if they went along with the way his character tracked in the book. It did kind of influence his beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
and but he like he didn't fight with an axe or sword. He used a hammer because kind of like how the Aiel use spears instead
Mm-hmm.
of, because it's a tool. It's
Right.
not necessarily a weapon, but
Okay.
he used it as a pretty vicious and foul weapon
Yeah,
a
he
lot.
did.
Mhm.
So he had always had sort of respect for the way of leaf and that pacifist life, but
Mm-hmm.
he knew he couldn't literally live that life
Okay.
because of his responsibilities.
Got.
And he spent a lot of time being put in situations where he didn't want to fight,
Yeah.
but he had to fight,
Okay.
kind of like this. So
Yeah.
that was a recurring theme with his character
Okay. Yeah. But
because he was trying to get away from Rand, and he just kept getting pulled back because of that severe nature.
yeah.
He couldn't get away from it. And even putting together, the banner and having the Red Eagle of Manetheren and putting an army together of Two Rivers folks, he wasn't trying to. Tam Althor just kind of, I don't want to say pushed him, but he reluctantly became a leader.
Oh, kind of like he reluctantly became the leader in this
Yeah.
episode, because everybody kept calling him leader, Lord Perrin, Lord Golden Eyes. He was like, "Stop calling me." I'm like, "Dude, just let it go. If
So
that's
Yeah.
what's gonna
That
get
that
them, if
that tracks
that's
for
gonna,
him through the book. That's him the whole book. He's
yeah,
like, and Fail is the one that's like, because she comes from
yeah,
nobility.
mm-hmm.
So she kind of helps him along with, you may not want to be, but this is how the people view you.
Yeah," and it's
Yeah,
a
but
sign of
she kind,
respect.
yeah, but she also kind of had like ulterior motive too, because she could marry anyone unless they were noble. But that's neither here nor there.
So she was like, "I need you to be a noble, so I can marry you." But
yeah, so see, technically they call him Lord. So I mean, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Elaine helps him out. Elaine helps him out. So
Oh, okay, okay. But I mean, I understand he doesn't want it, because that's a lot of responsibility, especially for someone who prefers to be kind of in the background and not in the forefront. Like, Perrin has his character, even, I mean, especially in the show, he's never wanted to be at the forefront of anything.
mm-mm.
So for him to all of a sudden have all this attention on him, I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's something that he doesn't want. And especially with the way he kind of takes loss into himself and kind of makes himself responsible and guilty for certain things. I know he didn't want to do that, because he's like, I know some of these people are going to die. And I
Yeah.
love that Fael had to tell him, look, if they die, that's their choice. Like, that'll be their freedom, because what is the other alternative? For them to live in fear for the rest of their lives, for them to you know, yeah, I
And
just
I know we didn't see them this episode, but Matt has a very similar arc in the same way.
mm,
Where he eventually he stumbles around and all these mercenaries and former soldiers are following him. He's like, why are y'all following me?
oh,
He's
okay.
stumbling into battles and winning. And he's like, stop following me. Leave
Uh
me alone.
yeah,
You know, I don't want to do this. And he
right.
just keeps doing it more and more. But he's good at it. So
Yeah.
just like Perrin, and they have very similar arcs in the story.
Okay.
But
I love
again,
that.
Rand needs to have armies. So he's got these people putting armies together for him,
Right,
whether
right.
they want to or not.
Yeah.
And we're not going to see it.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I love the little light exchange with Perrin and Matt's sisters when he finally shows them the picture and they're messing with Matt. They're like, it looks like he's blowing a sheep's bladder, and they start calling him names. I was like, okay, I love that we're getting this lighthearted moment because you know this is about to be a heavy episode. We know there's about to be a battle. We know some people are about to die. And I'm gonna be honest, I really thought we would have more people on our side die, you know, just because I think I'm one of those people I think is really unrealistic when you have all of these main characters and there's a big battle and no one in that main group dies. It just doesn't seem realistic to me, even
The
though they
wheel wheels as the wheel will.
I'm not, but I'm not talking about just this show. I'm talking about any
Oh,
show, big battle, whatever. But I was expecting more death. So I was kind of like, okay, I like the lighthearted moments before everything went to shit. Like that moment with the girls and Perrin talking about Matt. I love the fact that Maxim and Alana finally reconnected in a way that works for both of them, where they're not focusing on what they lost with Ivan, but they're like, okay, if we're going to move forward, we have to create our own path that does not involve what we're used to with him. So I love seeing them reconnect because, again, it's so much better when they are connected to each other because, like, when she got stabbed with the spear, he could feel it. He was like, okay, so we got to do things a little bit differently now because she's down. And he would not have known that if the bond had been broken. It works better when they're on one accord. So I like seeing that moment between them, that kind of reconnecting. um Her irritation at having to train these people, like the girls, all they want to do is do the lightning, and she was like, look, I'm trying to teach y'all how to do more than just the lightning.
She was so annoyed. She was like,
She
"Look,
was
she had to turn around." She was like, "These
right.
little."
And then when Daisy was sitting there, Daisy is the new wisdom. And she was like, okay, so you can channel and you've been watching me teach them. She was like, you want me to be a part of your child army? Do I have to let go of my alcohol? And Alana was like, oh my God. Like, really, this is what y'all give me to work with. Two children who only want to learn one thing and a woman who doesn't want to do her alcohol. But I love that when they were in the battle and they were joined with Alana and they realized how powerful they could be. She looked at that bottle. She threw that bottle to the side. She was like, okay, I don't need that anymore. I want to do this stuff. And then of course we lose her 5 minutes later, but she was holding her own. She was holding off the Trollocs. She was holding off. So
And
um,
Alana with that ice storm, like, holy shit! Like, I that's the one thing I miss about this show. I love how they show the Aes Sedai's power like being manifested. Like the
mm-hmm.
weaves are just cool as shit to look at,
Yeah.
and
And I mean, I wonder how much more, like, would she have been able to do more damage if she was at 100% strength? Because you could tell when she was doing that, it was taking a lot out of her because she did almost just die like the day before. But I was just like, wow. And the girls were like, oh, that's way cooler than lightning. Yes, this is what you can learn if you had been paying attention over the last week.
right.
That's okay. They did what they were supposed to do. You know, they helped out. Then they killed Child Balder, and then they healed Alana. So we're good with the girls. We're good. They're good.
I think the linking is what took a lot out of it because since they don't really know what to do, they can't like give her power. She kind of has to take it,
Ah, okay.
pull it from him,
Mm-hmm.
and it requires a little bit more effort.
Okay. Gotcha. But
And
okay.
weather is not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, in any magical
Imagine.
world, like
But I
it
know
really
because
is.
every time like the couple times I've seen that scene, I keep thinking about a scene in the Belgariad, which is by David Eddings.
Mm-hmm.
And in there, um, Belgrath, the sorcerer, is telling them about, and telling his daughter about weather. And it's like, do you know how hard it is to gather up air? Like, it is, it's not like picking up a rock.
You don't
It's not
really
like
think about
throwing boulders.
that. Yeah.
How much effort it takes to
Yeah.
gather up air and then turn it into moisture and then turn it into ice and then a specific kind of ice in a specific size. That requires a lot of effort. So
Hmm.
that would have
Yeah.
tired her out
Okay.
just for that reason.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that does make sense because now that you say that, you don't really think about those things when at least we don't when we're looking at them doing. We're just like, oh, it's magic. They can do this. They can do that. And you don't think about the effort, physical effort that it requires for them to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
Because you have to gather up the air and the moisture and then freeze it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then turn it into pointy things and put them through Trollocs like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like damn.
Yeah. Speaking of Trollocs, um, so I've seen this episode before, so I knew what was gonna happen with like Loyal and him having to sacrifice himself. That did not stop me from sobbing my ass off when I watched it today. Like I'm sitting here crying ugly cries, like deep sobs, like why I've seen this before. I knew this was coming, but it still hurts. And then just his whole interaction this episode with Bane and Chia, the whole game of Maiden's Kiss, where he was basically trying to say, okay, your toe has been paid, so y'all don't owe me anything. And they're like, oh no, we do owe you something because you did this. And he was just like, oh, because really I think what he was trying to do, I think he knew all along he was going to sacrifice himself. He was going to have to sacrifice himself
Mm-hmm.
with
Mm.
trying to cut off the way station so that the other Trollocs didn't come through. And I
Yeah.
think he was trying to keep Bane and Chiad from going with him because he didn't want them to potentially be in danger. But of course, this is Bane and Chiad. They thrive off potential danger. Like when they were sitting there, like, okay, we got to get them away from the way gate. And they motioned to him, like, should we put our veils up? And he was like, yeah. And they were like, every time they had to put their veil up, they were smiling. I said, you know what? They are relishing this. They're like, battle, this is fun. This is play. And I mean, they made short work of the Trollocs and the Dark Friends, but it was so sweet because you could see that I think they were trying to figure out what he was doing as well. They were like, okay, so he's trying to let us off the hook so he can go do this. No, we need to find a way because I think for them, they were like, we're going to go have his back, whatever it is that he's going to do. And I
Mm-hmm.
love that about them. Like they are, again, for people who are strangers, they came to the two rivers and it's almost like they're part of the two rivers. They're like all in for those people. They're willing to protect them. They're willing to die for them. They're fighting their asses off for them because I don't know how many people came to the gate. They were just sitting there waiting like, and then they waited for them to turn to them and they're like, yeah, it's time to fight. Put these veils back up. Go kick some butt. And then what happens with Loyal is happening because he can't shatter the door. So he realizes he's going to have to cut off access to the door, which means he has to hit the ground, break the ground, and literally cut off the door where he is standing. And I was just, that was really what made me decide because like Anthony and I were picking up the shows. We were still talking about the show while you were out. And I was like, with the last episode, I said, maybe we should wait for Mike to come back. And then once I saw that Loyal died and sacrificed himself, I told Anthony, I said, no, we can't record anything else Wheel of Time until Mike is ready to come back. Because you literally had just said a couple of episodes before that how Loyal was your favorite character, and you was like, I hope he doesn't die this season. I'm gonna be pissed if he dies this season. That's gonna hurt. And I was just like, yeah, we gotta have Mike's reaction on this because it wouldn't feel right to talk about that and you not be on the show. So are you okay, Mike? Are
No,
you
I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I just like you. I it's like I was I was literally just watching that scene with Loyal again. Like I'm going through the show on my phone. I'm just like, man. But it's like he deserved. This is the noble death that he deserved. If he was going to die, I'm glad he died like this. Like he
yeah.
died nobly. He died for a cause, for a reason. He was trying to save. He was trying to save people, which is something that which is, I can appreciate.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but it just, I mean, him writing in the book and them reading the book afterwards, I was just like, oh,
Ugly cry, ugly cry. But I think he could have done what he needed to do if he had gone to the steading first before they came to the two rivers. He wasn't at full strength.
No.
And I think that's one of the reasons why he couldn't shatter the door like he wanted to, because if he had shattered that door, he would have still been able to go to another way station, right? He would have been able to go back through the ways to another door, to another area. Like he wouldn't have had to die. Well, he would have been fighting those Trollocs, but I think he could have taken a lot of them.
I'm I'm sure he knew that the gate is extremely difficult to break. Like they're almost impossible to break. In the
right.
book, in the book he used the Vendosora leaf
Mm-hmm.
and kind of locked it, and Moraine warded it.
Okay.
And so they couldn't come through.
Okay.
But there's no Moraine in
Right, because she's all the way on
the,
the other side of the world.
the side of the world. And Aes Sedai is not, Alana is not available. So,
No. Alana just trying to stay alive with a spear through her body right now. I
Alana's been through it. If I was Alana, I'd never want to come back to the Two Rivers. I'm like, y'all keep putting pointy things in me. Like, get the fuck away from me. Like,
no.
no.
the interesting thing is, I don't, how would they have come through? You know what? I don't want to think about it because you either have to have a Venusaur leaf, which the Trollocs have those, or you have to use the one power or the true power. So someone had to have been with those Trollocs who could open the gate.
Maybe one of the dark friends had that ability, but we'll
Maybe
never, of course, now
we'll
we'll
never
never
know.
know. But okay.
But then again, the Forsaken know how to use um they can travel. So they can actually basically teleport the Trollocs there if they needed to.
Oh, okay.
So
Hmm.
that I try not to think too hard about these things, especially this show. So
Okay.
yeah, whatever.
Let's see. What else is there in there? Because I mean, you were right, and it's really just a lot of fighting. There's some dialogue in there, and there's some, like I said, there are some moments, and I think we've discussed the majority of those moments. The moment is playing in the background. The moment that Aram stabs the Trolloc and his grandmother sees him, I felt like I was looking at that vision of Rand's
Mm-hmm.
where, yeah, I was just
It was a
like,
good call. It was a good callback. I like that because she
yeah,
had the same look on her face that that mom had. It was the
mm-hmm,
same, or grandmother. It was the same look.
yeah.
From
So
mom, I think. Yeah,
yeah, it was his mom in the vision, but
yeah. Because she was like, you think So he was just supposed to lay there and let him and the baby get killed. So
and
he had to
that's
Right.
make a choice.
the whole
And
problem.
I'm not gonna be upset with his choice. And
Yeah.
then then you remember when Bane and Chad was like, the lost ones on the spit on the ground.
Hmm. But I
Yeah.
was thinking about that too, like, oh, if you only knew your history. Like
Mm.
you guys used to be Tuatha. So yeah, I
Mhm.
was thinking about all that. But I mean, the fighting in this episode, the villagers, when Perrin finally picks up the hammer, because he's been eyeing that hammer the whole episode. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he was that the same hammer that he killed Layla with?
I
Or
thought he
was
hit
it
it with an axe.
axe? Okay, I couldn't remember. So,
Actually,
but he's deadly with that hammer. Because once he
Yeah, I think
picked
that
up
was
that
really.
hammer, it's almost like it added a few inches to him because he walked out of that forge tall, and I mean literally knocking them. Boom, 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 boom. And then here comes little acrobatic Fire behind him doing all kinds of mess. I was just like, I had to rewind a couple of times because she was moving so fast that it was like, wait, what did she just do? She was just all over the place. And just like somebody's over here fighting, she's throwing swords, and you over here killing people right here. Like she was doing a lot. Like I said, I loved it. I was sitting on my couch so hyped. But I was also like, if you get killed, I'm gonna be real mad.
right.
Because I just kind of felt like something was gonna happen to her, but I'm glad it didn't. Maxim with the longbow, that was funny because there was one shot that they did of him specifically, and it was literally like he he was giving off an air like he was bored. He picked up the longbow, pulled it back almost like with his two fingers and just let it go, and it went into it. I was like, he looks like, oh, this is so easy. Let me just, but it was so much fighting. I loved it. I did. And I liked seeing some of the white cloaks. I'm sorry. I like seeing some of them die because y'all are stupid. Because
They're
y'all are
trash.
stupid. Like
They're trash. Yeah.
Yeah.
dumb.
I just saw that moment you were talking about fail like on the back of the Trolloc like stabbing. I was like, she looks just like Drax in that
Yes,
outfit.
she was getting it. But yeah, the I don't know what to say about the white clothes. The only thing I can say is they should have had better leaders, and maybe if Dane's father wasn't dead, things might have gone off a little bit better. Because I think he would have been able to look at them and be like, okay, something ain't right about y'all, about these reinforcements. I think he would have been able to look at it. I, I think Child Valda, yes, he was kind of put off by their appearance, but I don't think he cared. I think he was more so just like, okay, we're gonna go do our, as long as y'all bring me somebody to torture, I'm good. I don't think he really cared.
No,
You
he
know,
didn't.
Dane
Mm-mm.
is the only one who was there with a particular purpose, and that was to bring Perrin to justice.
Yeah,
And
he
like
was
was
blinded. He was blinded by vengeance. So
yeah. But I mean, and Perrin told him, he said, when he was sitting there negotiating with him, and he was talking about how you killed my father. He said, so does that excuse you killing Natty? He said, she died because of your grief, just like your father died because of mine. Like, where does this end? And even when at the end, when they arrested him, and Faya was ready to fight, she was like, oh, you think you, like, we just got together, you think you about to take my man? Absolutely not. And he had to tell them no. He was like, violence only stops when one person says enough.
hmm
And if they kill me, then that's what they do. But this has got to stop. We got to stop fighting each other. We got to stop, you know, all of this violence. Now, I will say this, and I know y'all knew I was going to say this. He should have killed Pat and Fang. There is no way he should have let Pat and Fang go.
Yep.
He
Damn sure.
should, but I mean, and I understand he's an honorable man. So once I tell you, if you call off your Trolloc army, you can go, that would have been fine. But the moment, had it been me, I'm just saying, had it been me, after all the shit you've done over the last couple of years, and the fact that you literally just sat here and told me, I don't care about you. I don't care about your people. I don't care about this place. I'm just here for the chaos. I'm here for the fun. Like, he really had no motivation for doing what he was doing. The minute he called that Trolloc army off and they started retreating, he would have had an axe to the neck. I'm so sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I will deal with, I will deal with my loss of honor later as long as this motherfucker dead.
My guy is the great escape artist. It's like like he can't die. It's like every time you think he's gonna die, he like finds a way to worm his way out of it and escape and
Right.
come back again to bother you. It's just like he's like a gnat. It's like you swinging at it, and motherfucker, you just can't catch that bitch.
Loyal
Like,
is about to die in the background. I can't watch. That's why I'm covering my face. He's
my
about
dog, man, I just can't. I swear.
But yeah, Pat and Fane, well, of course, now we're not gonna know, but I was like, if he comes back next season and he's still doing this stuff, I want somebody to throw a knife through him. Maybe Matt. Because Matt would have no qualms about, oh, I know I said I was gonna be honorable. No, Matt would have been like, oh, you're the reason all this stuff. No, let me go ahead and kill you.
Where's the dagger?
Um
Matt Matt had it last.
Yeah, and he tied it onto a pike and killed because
um
he was fighting.
Yeah.
I think it dissolved when
No, they
wait.
used he used it to open the case to have the horn in it,
Yeah,
and that was
Yes.
the last time we saw it. Well,
No,
had
we
it. He had it when he was fighting.
he stabbed Ram with it, remember?
Yeah, that was the last time we saw it.
So it's probably they probably left it on the tower. Well, I don't know. I don't think they would have
No,
left it on the tower because that would be dangerous, but they probably got rid of it.
I don't know. Gets
I
lost in the
don't
show.
know. Well, the context is important to the story with Pat and Fane, so we'll see. I don't know. Maybe it'll show up.
No, we won't see.
We won't see. We won't see.
Ain't
We
gonna
won't
see shit.
see. Pat and Fane makes it to the last battle, so
Okay. Yeah,
Of
no,
course,
of course he does.
Perrin should have just killed him. Perrin should have just
But
killed him.
no, he's important. He's important.
So was Child Vada, according to you.
No, he's important he's important to Rand. Child Bald is not important to Rand.
Ah, okay. Okay. But
uh,
I don't know. Pat and Fane, like, on the background right now, Pat, he just has one of those faces you just want to punch. Just like, oh, so much of this is because of you, and you don't even have a good reason for doing this. You're just doing it. Like, parents should have killed him. Anyway, so lots of fighting in this one, all in the two rivers. So we don't know what's going. I'm gonna assume the next episode deals with the other side of the world because now the Trollocs have left. The two rivers is kind of sort of in peace, except for the fact that Perrin just got arrested. But I don't think they'll be bothered by the Trollocs. And now,
Still no Tam Althor and Matt's father. Just
I
they
know
just yeah, whatever.
they're just in the wind because Amazon decided to cancel the fucking show. But
you spent $50 million on a damn wedding, but you can't spend like 8 or 9 to finish this shit out. Like motherfucker, the hell. All you gonna do is cheat on her again. Like damn.
They just gonna take that money from this show and move it over to Ring of Power. That's all
You
they're
can
doing.
pull that shit back and give me 7 episodes of this so we can close it out.
What they should do is move some of these writers to Ring of Power too, help them out because they need some help over there.
but you said you didn't like what the writers were doing over here, so why would
I say I like some of the stuff they're
some of the
doing.
things? Yeah.
And say I liked all of it. They can help with some of that character writing because that part they got.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to follow something that's already been done. So,
yeah.
just
I'm
saying.
still bummed that this show is canceled, but
I'm mad they killed Loyal, and now we'll never know if he actually survived or not.
I, I know that there are efforts being made to save the show. Like the fan base is really rallying. They've got a petition going on. They've paid for billboards all over the place. I think I've seen even some international billboards, trying to save the show. So I don't know. Maybe somebody else will pick it up and save it. I don't know. This is one of those shows that's, even with some of the things that we complained about, I don't think it was enough complaining for us to be like, okay, yeah, that the show was deserved to be canceled. No, especially this season. This season was probably the best out of all 3 seasons.
Yeah, it
So
was.
Anyway.
Oh, Lord.
It was.
You guys have anything final to say about this episode? Because I did.
Well, I guess I reserve my comments about the series being canceled until after our last episode. This was not one of my favorite episodes.
Okay.
Simply because I didn't like the direction they took with some of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It did have some good moments, but it was definitely not. It wasn't a top episode for me.
Okay, and that's understandable, especially if characters are different from where you thought the story was going. But
yeah, and I know I had said that I had separated myself from what they're supposed to be in the book to what they're doing in the show. It's just that even as the show is going, I still don't like what they did with some of the characters.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I still don't like that they killed Loyal. I don't really care for Perrin turning himself over, which still I don't understand. Dude did not take the deal. So why are you going with it now? Like, Perrin, Matt would have been,
because he showed up, and Perrin is a dude of honor. He showed. I know. But look, I agree with you. I agree.
The last thing you said to him, because he had no expectation of you coming, so that meant the deal was off. Because last thing you told him was, "I will not sacrifice my men for an empty promise." So you didn't even believe Perrin.
No, the last thing he actually said was, "If the Trollocs don't kill you, we will."
Okay, we will. Exactly. So how am I supposed to think that we have a deal when you basically just told me you couldn't come clean up after the Trollocs wipe us out?
Right.
So, yeah, no.
But I guess in Perrin's mind, y'all showed up. So that means that, y'all fulfill your end of the deal. So I'm going to fulfill. But like I said,
if Matt was there, Matt would have told him that's not how deals work, buddy.
Right. No. And also, like I said, you brought the Trollocs. So technically speaking, you brought the enemy.
You aided and abetted the enemy.
So I shouldn't have to fulfill anything. But I think, too, if he would have refused to go, then the White Cloaks would have attacked. And then it would have been just a whole nother bloody battle. And that would have been more people dying. And then Perrin would have felt guilty. And Perrin is done with all of that. So
you know how I would have written it? I would have basically turned Fael into Matt Smith from the House of the Dragon. And while Dane is talking, she just walks by, slits his throat. We're done.
Right.
That's how I would have written it. And Perrin would have been upset. He would have been mad. But what was going to do at that point?
Yeah, because you don't have a lot of white. I'm looking in the background. You don't have a lot of White Cloaks with you right now. You got a whole village that's willing. Like Fael said, apparently you can't do math because there's more of us than there are of you.
And they just beat down the Trolloc. They just beat down the Trolloc army. So,
yeah. So I think they could have taken them, but
they would have taken them. Fael would have taken them by herself.
And not by herself, because Bane and Chia, as soon as Fael was like, "Oh, y'all can't count," they were like, "Oh, we finna fight again."
Yeah, the three of them, that would have been it. That would have been it. Yeah. But yeah, that would have been without Red. Thing would have been, excuse me, choking on his own blood.
He would have been dead. I mean, I don't really dislike Dane. I don't, but if I have to choose between him and his grief and Perrin, I'm going for Perrin every single time. So Dane just needs to, I don't know, he needs to get over it, figure it out. But I guess it doesn't matter now because the fucking show got canceled. But yeah,
Yep,
I
that
don't think
matters.
he should have turned himself in.
He definitely shouldn't have, but I mean, he has this newfound role as the Lord of the Two Rivers, so he has to uphold his lordship. I don't buy that shit at
His
all, man.
honor, Lord
Fuck
Perrin,
all that.
golden eyes.
Yeah, fuck all that.
I
He
was
should.
almost expecting him to keep saying, "Don't call me that," as they were as they were walking him away.
That's not my name.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Should have had that IO slit all their throat.
Do you have any shout outs, Mike?
Shout out to me not saying that Pat Fane and Valda look alike now because I don't have to see them in the same episode again. Um, I I really have see. I'm like Hanako with comic books, like me with books now. It's like I'm trying, like I'm edging out time to read Children of Blood and Bone just so I could see it before the movie gets out. But I'm like, I want to read this whole series, but I'm like, I don't have time. Like, there's so much
Yeah.
shit going on. It's like I don't have time to do shit. Um,
Especially not between now and September, because
mhm,
we got Dragon Con and to prepare for. So
exactly. So
yeah.
much shit. But yeah, I mean, um, y'all have any more other than to my dog who really showed out in this episode. The only thing that could have made it better is if because they because they kept dropping that Trollocs don't like wolves. Trollocs don't like wolves. Only thing that was missing was him summoning a pack of wolves to
Yeah.
come in and help him. Like I was expecting that through the whole episode. I was like, okay,
Me
where they
too.
at?
Me too.
Because they kept dropping that. They're like, yes, you're the wolf, because they don't like wolves and wolves and wolves. And I'm like, okay, where the fuck are the wolves? They
I'm
can
gonna
get
be
here.
honest. Even though I know Anthony says he's not a werewolf or a shapeshifter, I was almost half expecting him to turn into one for
Oh
this.
Exactly.
God.
Turn have my dog turn to a werewolf. I need my dog in the house.
No. No, no,
I was
no,
almost
and
half
no.
expecting it to happen, especially once
Mm.
they put the banners up. I was like, yeah, Perrin is being the reluctant leader, but he's gonna turn into a wolf and he's gonna scare the Trollocs off, and his wolves are gonna come
Mm-hmm.
behind him, rally behind him, and they're gonna. So there was a small. I will admit there was a small part of me that was expecting that. So I'm
I
kind of
half
glad
expected.
that didn't happen though, because I think that would have been a little corny.
No,
So
they needed the help. I have expected to see what's his name, the other wolf dude that looked like
Elias.
yeah, I have expected to see Elias just show up out of nowhere and start just move through the crowd, start slicing people.
Elijah said they ain't got shit to do
Man,
with
they
him.
ain't
That
got
ain't
I
none of
nothing to
his
know,
do with
business.
I
us.
know, but I have been like just like slicing throats and looking at Perrin and saying, "Don't expect this treatment often," and just keep going through and
Right.
like just like
Right.
just like randomly killing people. Then it's like the next morning he's like, "Well, you sure you don't want to stay?" It's like, "What the fuck did I say, motherfucker? Don't
Yeah.
expect this kind
Yeah.
of treatment later. Learn
Yeah.
how to control your wolves. I can't believe you let Hoppy die. And I'll just slice your throat."
Uh,
I can't believe you let Alfred die.
well, I mean,
It's so wrong.
it wasn't his fault. He told Hopper to stay behind,
He did.
and Hopper didn't listen. So,
Was loyal.
and
He
Loyal.
did.
and
He did
and
save life. He did save Perrin's life. So
he did.
Yes, he did
he
say
did.
parents like
Just for Perrin to now be arrested for murdering the person that killed him. But okay.
whatever. He should. I'm saying that I should have shish kebabbed all the motherfuckers and been like, yeah, now what? And now
Okay, so we have one episode remaining of the Wheel of Time series.
Hmm.
And then that's it. And I'm still so sad. But yeah, because I mean, especially after like I went to Jordan Con for the first time this year, and that was a lot of fun. So I was expecting, I was like, okay, go back next year, talk about the show some more, have fun, and yeah. So I don't, like I said, hopefully they can save the show. Somebody else will pick it up and decide to do something with it. But I guess we shouldn't hold our breath.
Yeah, I wouldn't get my hopes up
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
because the
that's
only
that's what. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Yeah, that's the same thing we were hoping for Shadow and Bone. You see where that got us. So
No,
yeah, and that they got creative with trying to get Netflix to renew that one because I think one of the things that they did was they sent boxes and boxes and boxes of fake crows to the Netflix office. I think that was one of the things they did, but okay.
the
Um
only company that could do it is HBO, and they got their own shows they're trying to
HBO got too much
they
shit going on.
they were trying to cut budgets. They're not trying to pick up more shit.
yeah. Mm, okay.
And Netflix is not going to do it because
Netflix does
they
not do
like
it.
owning.
Netflix does that and doesn't bring back Shadow and Bone. I'm
Yeah,
canceling my subscription.
yeah, they're more into doing their original stuff, so they don't.
Yeah.
I don't think they really care picking up other people's stuff.
And they renewed Fubar. I'm like, really? Out of all things, you gonna renew that Arnold Schwarzenegger shit, which I'm still watching because the shit's funny as fuck.
Yeah,
But still,
then they renew Velma too for a
yeah,
second season.
I
Yeah,
think Max gave him another season.
Okay,
That
you know
shit,
what?
I couldn't even get 15 minutes through that shit.
either.
It was terrible. It's fucking
Okay.
awful.
So on that
Hopefully,
note,
nobody brings back Good Times, but that's neither here nor there.
you know what? And on that
Some
note,
things need to be left. Let sleeping dogs lie.
yep. And on that note, that is it for our show. You can find us online at www.fandomhybrid.com. We are on social media, on all the social media at Fandom Hybrid. You can chat with us on our YouTube channel. Nope, you can't. You can watch our videos on our YouTube channel. You can chat with us on our Discord channel. And you can listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. Thanks for listening. We hope you join the conversation next time.